Hey everybody, JB here. Welcome to the shed. I'm going to bring a message and I'm going to call it Bible Truth Compromise. And I could easily call this false teachers. I guess you probably get bored with that. But the Bible Truth Compromise is the status quo today. 99% of men and women that call themselves Christians are not Christians according to the Bible. They are the victims of Bible truth compromise. Now, the theme of this message, just brought to me by the Holy Spirit, is in parallel. It's in parallel to what we see happening today. What we see happening today are people choosing sides, and then every single thing that happens serves their side on one end or the other, even if they have to turn the whole thing upside down. Nothing matters but getting what it is that they want. So my message is that I said comes from the Holy Spirit is this: always, and I say this, it's important. Apply this to the rest of your life. This is an important teaching. Always seek the truth. Discipline yourself to be a truth seeker, not a compromiser who says, and we don't do this subconsciously. You see, that's why it's a discipline. We do this subconsciously without knowing it. We look at something and we look for our angle. They come up with all these clever terms: dispensationalist, pre-tribbers. And the reason why they have those titles is so that they don't have to look for the truth any longer. They have been deceived, and they will stay deceived because they don't seek the truth. They seek the answer that they want. And I said this applies to the rest of your life. It's a very good teaching. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Discipline yourself to always seek the truth. What happened here? Law enforcement is the best example because those who go into law enforcement are supposed to represent the law and to seek to investigate only the truth, the facts. Well, it doesn't always happen, but it's supposed to. For us, it has to always happen. If you've been guilty in the past, probably, as we all have, stop doing that. Now, I said it coincides to what we see today because I just talked to my friend for like an hour and a half. We're like-minded men both in our 60s. So we see this is what we want is we want things to go back to the way they were, where there was a constitution. The politicians followed it. They tried to uphold it. Now it's a complete dismantling. It's an unraveling, and the whole thing's falling apart. And the subsequent or the resultant of that equation is people are seeking their opinion from others. So I come to this Bible study today, but I know what I want to hear. I want you to say what I've already heard and what I already know. That's subconscious. And you have to discipline yourself. I'm telling you, you have to. Of course, you don't have to do anything. But you're going to be judged according to the truth of this here book called the Bible. This is God's holy word, and it's not being treated very reverently. That's why I wish I got more views. Not because I want to be Mr. YouTube. I want people to see the actual truth. And the problem is, prolifically, there's a million videos, Christian videos, men and women spreading lies, and there's very, 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 very few bringing the unadulterated truth of the Bible. And now that I hopefully have introduced the point I'm trying to make, let me reiterate it one more time. Always seek the truth, not your opinion. Okay? And this is mandatory with the Bible. 99% of men and women are lost, hell-bound sinners, and they don't even know it. They've been deceived. So if we look at this, I'm going to give you an example, and I'm not going to give an exposition of these introductions to the Olivet Discourse found in Matthew, Mark, and Luke in any way, shape, or form. I'm just going to read them, and then I'm going to tell you the interpretation of the truth versus the interpretation of our opinion. Okay, you ready? Matthew first. And in Matthew we read, the question brought by his disciples is, tell us, says Matthew 24:3, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Tell us, when will these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Mark says, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled? When shall these, he says, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign when all these things be fulfilled? And then in Luke it says, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? So you heard what I said. Matthew has the only distinct three questions. When shall these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Three questions. Mark, it's not so clear. Mark, it sounds more like one question. When shall these things be? What shall be the sign when all these things be fulfilled? When shall these things be, and what shall be the sign when they're all fulfilled? In Luke, it says, Master, but when shall these things be, and what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? Now, I told you I wouldn't give an exposition as much as what I'm saying to you is this. I want to teach you something today, and I want to teach you this. Seek the truth. Don't believe, you believe in the rapture, so don't listen to these hoping to see that the interpretation through these three Gospels, Mark, Matthew, Luke, present in some way the rapture, which by the way they do. But don't seek it, find it to you by the Holy Spirit. He just revealed it to me. This is what's gone wrong. In society, we see it prolifically in America. There's two sides, and it's getting to the point where we're probably